Okay, so it's a holiday up here today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut out this radiator or this core support so that it'll work with the 95 diesel radiator. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a section out of it from here across and down to here across and back up. And now if you're wondering why I'm cutting into the curved section here, that's so that I can have it look more or less stock when I'm done. Once I move this side over 2 3/4 inches, there'll be a pretty straightforward section of flat metal that needs to be rebent into position and you know, filled in with a patch. Whereas if I did something different, like I cut it along here, let's say for example, then I would have to recreate that curved section. I'd be cutting this out anyways. This side is going to get moved over an inch. It hardly seems worth it, but that's what it needs for the radiator to be centered. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this cut line over to be coincident with this edge, and that way when the time comes to move it over, it'll actually end up pretty much eliminating this hole. So I'm going to get to it. There's going to be a whole lot of spot welds that are going to need to be drilled out in the whole process of this. But for the moment, I'm just going to take care of the cutting out this front section of the core support as well. These braces will have to move over as well, and this bracket here. Same on that side as well. Okay, gonna give this a try. There you go, some nice quick cuts with the plasma cutter. Cheapy one too, the Chinese ones. Okay, so I've cut and moved the opening over. I'm just trying to fit the gap there. I'm gonna TIG weld it. My MIG welder isn't that good with thin metal, so I'm gonna TIG weld it. And I was just getting the fit. You know, it's a little bit larger there, but I might just hammer and dolly it a bit together. But not too bad there. So I'm gonna TIG it. Might even do a little bit of MIG to patch up some of the bigger holes, like that there. I'll back it with a piece of copper, as well as some of these ones that I kind of pie cut a bit to get the fit better. Anyways, I'll TIG this together and then I'll deal with the brace there that goes behind it. Okay, so I've been TIG welding the core support back together here. You have to excuse the noise, neighbors doing some harvesting there. But I've been practicing a new technique. Now, you probably easily could have done this a lot faster with the MIG welder. I'm not really that happy with my MIG welder. It's a name brand one, but it doesn't work very well for me anyways. So I'm doing a little bit of TIG welding, and I'm doing a little bit of practicing, and you can actually fill. Normally you want as little a gap as possible, and some of these tacks I've been doing here have been without filler rod. Now some of it has been with filler rod, and that's been where I've been filling in gaps and that sort of a thing. But it's been turning out pretty well, and if you're wondering why I'm actually going to the trouble to TIG weld this back together, it's because, well, I'm considering it practice for something, you know, like when I'm doing some body work. I'm practicing my hammer and dolly technique to level everything out, to stretch the metal, because you end up actually doing a shrink, and that's what causes warpage when you're welding. So if you stretch it with the hammer and dolly, you'll find that you'll minimize your stretching. Now you still have to practice, you know, a good welding technique, which is not to weld too much in one location at a time. Now I've been bad. Some of these ones are a little bit long. I shouldn't really be welding an inch at a time. I should only really be welding about a ½ inch at a time, and I should be moving around. Like if I do something here, I should move over to the other side and do a little bit there. You know, then do something in the middle, and you know, and work my way around. Anyways, so this is progressing well. I've got some rather large holes to fill, as you can see. Those are where I drilled out the spot welds. I think on that side I might try a little bit different technique for taking this core support apart, but we'll wait and see how this one turns out, and I'll go from there. Okay, I'm far from the fastest fabricator welder, whatever you want to call it. This is pretty much all welded in on this side. I still have to do the two filler patches here, but this panel is welded in. It actually looks better on the back side than it does on the front side. It surprised the hell out of me. There's the back side. So, anyways, call it a bit of experience here. Anyways, I'll probably be drilling out some more spot welds on this side, and then I will we'll call it a night. Okay, so that's it for today.